Thank you for being here today. I want to ask you a question that might feel familiar. Have you ever experienced a moment when you felt that something or someone was trying to reach out to you, a moment when it felt like the universe or even God was trying to send you a message? In our everyday lives, we often move through routines and responsibilities, rarely stopping to consider whether there's a deeper message in the events, conversations, or experiences we encounter. Yet, if we pause and pay attention, we might notice subtle signs around us, suggesting that something greater is trying to communicate. Recognizing these signs can be challenging because they are often quiet, easily overlooked, and can be dismissed as coincidence or happenstance. However, the more we open ourselves to noticing them, the more we start to see patterns, insights, and prompts that seem to nudge us in a certain direction. These signs can take many forms, and often they don't come with a clear explanation. For instance, it may start as a recurring thought that seems to pop up, regardless of what you're doing or where you are. Maybe it's an idea you can't shake, one that feels important or urges you to take action, like reaching out to someone, pursuing a new goal, or reconsidering a choice you've made. These persistent thoughts can feel random at first, but over time they may reveal themselves to be a message meant just for you. Sometimes the signs can appear through circumstances or synchronicities. Let's say you've been feeling stuck in your career and are unsure whether you should make a change. Then, out of nowhere, you repeatedly meet people who share their own stories of career transitions, or you come across articles, books, or opportunities related to a new field that interests you. These aren't just coincidences, rather, they can be gentle prompts urging you to explore this new path. Synchronicities like these often happen when we're open to receiving guidance. They're a way for the universe or God to provide little nudges, encouraging us to look more closely at the path we're on and whether it truly aligns with our purpose. The signs we receive can also appear in our dreams. Many people believe that dreams are a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind, where insights, warnings, or messages may be delivered to us without the usual filters of our busy minds. If you find yourself dreaming about the same situation or theme over and over, or if a dream seems especially vivid and emotional, it might be worth exploring whether there's a deeper message there. Our dreams can reflect our inner struggles, aspirations, and fears, sometimes giving us clarity on what we truly want or need in life. Another way these subtle signs show up is through our relationships. People we meet or even random encounters can sometimes carry unexpected messages. Have you ever had a stranger or a friend tell you something that resonates so deeply that it feels like it was meant just for you? Maybe it's a piece of advice that mirrors a struggle you've been dealing with, or a kind word that gives you encouragement at the exact moment you needed it. Sometimes the people around us serve as conduits for divine messages, helping us see things about ourselves or our situations that we might have missed on our own. Even challenging relationships or difficult conversations can carry insights meant to prompt personal growth or encourage us to reevaluate our choices. The natural world, too, can be a source of subtle signs. In many cultures and spiritual beliefs, nature holds symbolic messages. You might notice an animal behaving strangely around you, a certain bird appearing repeatedly, or patterns in the weather that somehow reflect your inner state. While these may seem like small occurrences, many people find that nature has a way of reflecting our emotions and providing guidance if we are willing to be receptive. The way the wind moves through the trees or the sight of a sunrise can sometimes evoke a feeling of peace, clarity, or inspiration, reminding us of the beauty and balance that exists beyond our immediate concerns. The key to recognizing these subtle signs is cultivating an attitude of openness and mindfulness. When we go about our days on autopilot, we're less likely to pick up on these gentle nudges. But by taking time to slow down, reflect, and pay attention, we can start to see connections that weren't obvious before. Journaling can be a powerful tool for this, allowing us to capture thoughts, feelings, and experiences that might hold clues or messages. As we record our daily lives, we might begin to notice recurring themes, thoughts, or patterns that reveal guidance we didn't see in the moment. It's also important to trust your intuition as you try to discern whether these subtle signs are meaningful. Intuition is that inner voice or feeling that something is true, even if you can't explain why. When we're open to divine guidance, our intuition can serve as a helpful filter, allowing us to recognize which signs hold significance and which are just noise. Paying attention to how certain thoughts, images, or experiences make you feel can help you discern whether they're worth exploring further. For example, if a particular thought or encounter brings a sense of peace or excitement, it might be a sign that it's worth following. On the other hand, if something fills you with dread or unease, that could be a message too. Ultimately, recognizing subtle signs requires us to cultivate patience and trust. It's easy to want clarity right away, but often, messages unfold gradually over time. The guidance we're seeking might come in pieces, appearing through different aspects of our lives until we're ready to fully understand it. By staying receptive, we allow these signs to reveal themselves in their own time, knowing that they will guide us in the direction we're meant to go. Recognizing subtle signs is about being present, open, and willing to believe that there's more to life than what we see on the surface. Whether these signs come from God, the universe, or our own inner wisdom, they invite us to look deeper, to trust our journey, and to find meaning in even the smallest moments. Life is full of ups and downs, moments of triumph and moments of triumph and moments of struggle. Often, when we face difficulties, we wonder, why is this happening to me? It's natural to feel frustrated or defeated when challenges arise. But what if we looked at these challenges differently? What if, instead of seeing them as setbacks, we viewed them as messages or lessons meant to guide us in a specific direction? When we embrace life's challenges as lessons, we shift our perspective from victimhood to growth. This mindset doesn't make the struggle any less real, nor does it mean we won't feel pain, sadness, or fear. However, it opens us to a deeper understanding that every difficulty holds within it an opportunity to learn, grow, and transform. This idea is echoed in various spiritual and philosophical traditions, where hardship is seen as a path to wisdom, resilience, and enlightenment. One of the first steps to embracing challenges as lessons is to recognize that life often has a broader perspective than we can see in the moment. When we're caught in the middle of a tough situation, it's easy to get consumed by the immediate emotions and worries. But when we look back on our lives, we often find that some of our hardest moments were the ones that shaped us the most. These challenges have a way of revealing our true strength, showing us aspects of ourselves we didn't know existed, and pushing us to grow in ways we may have resisted before. Take, for example, the experience of failure. Whether it's a failed relationship, career setback, or a personal goal we didn't reach, failure can feel devastating. But if we take a closer look, we may see that failure holds valuable insights. It teaches us about our limits, our strengths, and sometimes the areas where we need to improve or change direction. In many cases, failure redirects us to paths that are ultimately more fulfilling. It's often said that failure is a better teacher than success, as it forces us to reflect, adapt, and ultimately become more resilient. Similarly, loss and grief, although incredibly painful, are profound teachers. Losing someone we love or something we value deeply can shatter our world. However, through the process of grieving, we learn about the importance of love, the fragility of life, and the strength of the human spirit. Grief teaches us compassion for others going through similar pain and helps us develop a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. It's in these dark moments that we often experience the most profound personal growth, emerging from them with a renewed sense of empathy and purpose. Challenges can also teach us patience and humility. In a culture that often prioritizes instant gratification, patience can be a hard lesson to learn. Yet, life has a way of teaching us that not everything happens according to our timeline. Illness, financial hardship, or other struggles can test our patience to the limit. But through these experiences, we learn to let go of control and to trust that things will work out in their own time. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about maintaining a positive attitude while waiting, learning to live in the present moment, and finding peace even when things aren't going according to plan. Another lesson challenges bring is the importance of faith and resilience. When we go through difficult times, we may feel isolated or as if we're fighting a battle on our own. But challenges often remind us to reach out for support, whether it's through friends, family, or our faith. They push us to reconnect with our inner strength and resilience, teaching us that we're capable of much more than we might have imagined. With each challenge we overcome, our confidence grows and we develop a faith in ourselves and in life's capacity to bring us through to the other side. Moreover, challenges can often be a call to realign with our true values and purpose. Sometimes we get so caught up in daily routines or societal expectations that we lose sight of what truly matters. Challenges have a way of interrupting this pattern, forcing us to slow down and reassess our priorities. A job loss, for instance, might initially feel like a major setback, but it could also be an invitation to pursue a career that aligns more closely with our passions and values. Challenges can act as reminders to live authentically, pushing us to listen to our inner voice and make choices that resonate with who we truly are. Learning to see challenges as lessons also means embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Growth is rarely comfortable. It often requires us to face parts of ourselves that we'd rather ignore or deny. Perhaps a difficult relationship brings to light our need to set boundaries, or a financial setback teaches us about budgeting and discipline. These lessons aren't easy, but they are necessary if we want to become the best versions of ourselves. By embracing the discomfort and leaning into the lessons, we move closer to a more resilient, compassionate, and wise self. Embracing challenges as lessons also gives us the power to transform our narrative. Instead of viewing ourselves as victims of circumstance, we start to see ourselves as empowered individuals who can adapt, learn, and thrive. This doesn't mean we minimize our pain or pretend that everything is fine. Rather, it means we honor our struggles and see them as integral parts of our journey, acknowledging the strength, wisdom, and insight that they bring. We begin to understand that our lives are a story, and each challenge is a chapter that contributes to our growth and evolution. In the end, embracing life's challenges as lessons is a practice of acceptance, gratitude, and trust. We accept that life will have ups and downs, and we choose to see each experience as an opportunity for learning. We cultivate gratitude for the insights and growth that challenges provide, even if they come at a cost. And we trust that, in the grand scheme of things, each challenge is part of a journey that is leading us toward greater understanding, fulfillment, and connection with ourselves and others. By viewing our challenges as lessons, we give ourselves the gift of resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. We acknowledge that life is not always easy, but we also recognize that within every challenge lies the potential for growth, healing, and transformation. Through this perspective, we find meaning in our struggles and empowerment in our journey, knowing that each step, no matter how difficult, brings us closer to becoming the person we are meant to be. In a world that's constantly moving, finding moments of stillness and reflection can feel like a luxury rather than a necessity. Yet these moments of calm are essential if we want to understand the deeper meaning behind our experiences, emotions, and decisions. When we take time for stillness, we're creating space to listen to the quiet messages that might be trying to reach us. Stillness offers an opportunity to reconnect with our inner selves and with any guidance we believe might come from a higher power or the universe. Our daily lives are filled with noise, physical, mental, and emotional. Between social media, work responsibilities, family commitments, and the general pace of life, it's easy to get caught up in a whirlwind of activity. As we move from task to task, our minds are often preoccupied with plans, worries, and distractions. This constant stimulation leaves little room for self-reflection or genuine listening, making it hard to discern whether we're on the right path or simply being swept along by life's currents. In the absence of stillness, we lose touch with our inner voice, that quiet yet powerful guide that often holds the answers to our most pressing questions. Prioritizing stillness doesn't require vast amounts of time or complicated practices. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each morning to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let go of any immediate concerns. This short period of stillness allows us to center ourselves, ground our thoughts, and prepare for the day ahead. Over time, even these small moments of calm can bring clarity to our lives, helping us approach each day with more intention and awareness. Another powerful form of stillness is meditation. Meditation is the practice of observing our thoughts without judgment, allowing them to come and go. When we meditate, we quiet the mental chatter that usually occupies our minds. This creates space for us to connect with deeper insights and feelings that might otherwise go unnoticed. Regular meditation helps us build a stronger relationship with our inner selves, making it easier to identify when we're receiving guidance or nudges that encourage us in certain directions. Meditation doesn't necessarily require any particular religious or spiritual belief, but it does invite us to look inward and connect with our deepest truths. Journaling is another effective way to cultivate reflection. Writing down our thoughts and feelings allows us to process our experiences and explore them with greater clarity. By journaling, we give ourselves permission to express our fears, hopes, dreams, and frustrations in a private, non-judgmental space. Over time, patterns may emerge in our writing, revealing themes or messages that we might not have noticed otherwise. By reflecting on these entries, we can gain insights into our lives and recognize when there's something urging us to make a change or take a specific action. Stillness also allows us to connect with our intuition, a vital but often overlooked guide. Intuition is that inner knowing or gut feeling that tells us something is right or wrong, even if we can't logically explain why. When we're constantly busy, it's easy to ignore these subtle signals. However, in moments of stillness, our intuition becomes clearer, helping us navigate choices in situations that might be difficult to approach logically. Listening to our intuition can be especially helpful in times of uncertainty or when we're faced with major decisions. Often, our intuition knows what's best for us before our conscious mind catches up. Nature can be an ideal setting for cultivating stillness and reflection. When we spend time outdoors, we're reminded of the beauty and rhythm of life that exists beyond our daily struggles. Whether it's a walk in the park, sitting by the ocean, or hiking in the mountains, Nature offers a sense of peace and grounding that encourages us to let go of our worries and tune into our inner selves. Observing the natural world can also serve as a reminder that life has its own pace and that we don't always need to rush or force things. Nature teaches us patience, resilience, and the importance of being present, qualities that help us find meaning in stillness. In stillness, we're also more likely to confront aspects of ourselves that we may have ignored or suppressed. Our fast-paced lives often serve as a distraction from dealing with unresolved feelings, unacknowledged fears, or inner conflicts. However, by dedicating time to stillness, we give ourselves permission to face these aspects of ourselves honestly. This process can be uncomfortable at first, as it requires us to look inward with vulnerability and courage. But by facing these parts of ourselves, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are, what we need, and what we truly desire. This self-awareness is essential for growth, healing, and making choices that align with our true selves. Stillness and reflection also foster a sense of gratitude. When we slow down, we become more aware of the blessings in our lives, our relationships, our health, our opportunities, and even the small, everyday moments that bring us joy. This sense of gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, creating a positive mindset that attracts more fulfillment and happiness. Gratitude also helps us recognize the guidance we receive as a gift, strengthening our faith in life's ability to provide for us in meaningful ways. Finally, prioritizing stillness encourages us to develop a mindset of openness and trust. In stillness, we let go of the need to control every outcome and instead allow things to unfold naturally. This surrender doesn't mean we stop taking action, but it does mean that we become more willing to accept life's uncertainties and trust in a larger plan. This sense of trust allows us to approach challenges and opportunities with a calm, centered presence, knowing that we are being guided and supported along the way. In a culture that often equates busyness with success, choosing stillness and reflection can feel counterintuitive. But the benefits of this practice are profound. By dedicating time to quiet, introspective moments, we reconnect with our core values, clarify our intentions, and gain insight into the paths that truly resonate with us. We start to notice the guidance that's available to us, whether it comes from a higher power, our intuition, or the wisdom within us. Prioritizing stillness and reflection is a practice of self-care, self-discovery, and spiritual growth. It reminds us that true clarity and guidance come from within, and that by listening to ourselves, we can live in alignment with our truest purpose. Through stillness, we cultivate a deep and lasting connection with ourselves and the world around us, allowing us to move through life with grace, purpose, and inner peace. Seeking guidance through prayer or introspection is a deeply personal process that allows us to connect with our inner wisdom, and for many, with a higher power or spiritual source. In moments of uncertainty, confusion, or difficulty, we often find ourselves longing for clarity, direction, or a sense of peace. While external advice from friends, family, or mentors can be valuable, there are some questions that only we ourselves or a higher presence we might believe in can truly answer. That's where prayer and introspection come in. These practices encourage us to look inward, ask honest questions, and remain open to the answers that arise within us. For those who find meaning in prayer, it is an act of opening oneself to a divine presence and seeking guidance from a source greater than oneself. Prayer is more than just asking for what we want or need. It is a form of connection, gratitude, and surrender. By reaching out in prayer, we are acknowledging that we don't have all the answers and that we're willing to seek wisdom from something beyond our own understanding. In prayer, we share our fears, hopes, and dreams openly and vulnerably, creating a space where we can receive comfort, encouragement, or guidance. Prayer is often most powerful when practiced consistently. By establishing a regular routine of prayer, we create a rhythm that reminds us to pause, reflect, and reach out for guidance. This consistency not only reinforces our connection to a higher power, but also helps us develop a habit of humility and openness, both of which are essential when seeking answers beyond ourselves. Whether it's a short moment of gratitude in the morning or a longer, more reflective prayer in the evening, this practice grounds us and helps us feel supported in our daily lives. When we approach life with a heart open to guidance, we become more attuned to subtle signs and messages that might come from the world around us, whether through events, conversations, or intuitive feelings. Introspection, on the other hand, is the process of looking within ourselves for guidance and answers. For those who may not be religious or who prefer a more internal approach, introspection provides a powerful path to clarity and self-understanding. Introspection encourages us to examine our thoughts, emotions, and motivations honestly. When we take time for introspection, we are effectively creating a safe space within ourselves where we can explore our true feelings and desires without judgment. Through introspection, we can sift through the clutter of daily life, identifying what matters most and what actions align with our core values. Both prayer and introspection require us to quiet the noise of the outside world and cultivate a sense of inner stillness. This can be challenging in a society that values productivity and constant movement, but stillness is essential for genuine self-inquiry. Only when we allow our minds to become quiet can we hear the quiet voice of wisdom within us. This wisdom, often referred to as intuition, is sometimes called the inner voice, and it is a powerful source of guidance. While it may not always offer clear or logical answers, this inner voice often resonates with a sense of truth and clarity that can guide us in making decisions and moving forward in life. Seeking guidance through prayer or introspection is also about being open to answers that may come in unexpected ways. When we ask for guidance, we might not receive immediate or obvious answers. Instead, the response may come in the form of subtle realizations, recurring thoughts, or even new opportunities that align with our intentions. Sometimes the guidance we receive may challenge us to grow or step outside our comfort zones, nudging us to consider perspectives or actions we hadn't previously entertained. By remaining open to these responses, we become more receptive to the gentle guidance that life offers. The process of seeking guidance is not always about getting concrete answers. It is also about finding peace in the unknown. Life often presents us with questions that don't have simple solutions, and in these moments, prayer and introspection can bring us comfort and acceptance. By turning inward or upward, we remind ourselves that it's okay not to have everything figured out and that some answers will unfold in their own time. This practice helps us cultivate a mindset of trust, where we can rest in the belief that the answers we need will come when we're ready to receive them. Guidance through prayer and introspection is often a journey of self-discovery. As we search for answers, we learn more about ourselves, our strengths, our fears, and our veers, and our values. This process encourages us to peel back the layers of who we think we are to uncover our authentic selves. Often, the questions we bring to prayer or introspection reveal deeper concerns or unacknowledged desires, giving us insight into aspects of ourselves we might not have recognized. For example, a person seeking guidance on a career decision may discover that their true concern lies in a fear of failure or a desire for purpose. By acknowledging these deeper truths, they gain a clearer sense of what truly matters, allowing them to make decisions that align with their core values. Sometimes prayer and introspection can serve as reminders of our own resilience and inner strength. When we seek guidance, we may realize that the answer we're looking for is already within us and that we have the tools to handle our situation. This realization can be empowering, as it shows us that, while external guidance is valuable, we also have access to a well of inner wisdom that can carry us through life's challenges. Knowing this helps us approach difficulties with a sense of confidence and faith in our ability to navigate them. Patience is also an essential part of seeking guidance. Often we expect answers immediately, especially in times of distress or urgency. However, prayer and introspection teach us the value of waiting and trusting in the timing of life. Answers and guidance may not always come when we want them to, but they often arrive at the moment we need them most. Learning to wait and trust can be challenging, but it also brings peace, reminding us that life's journey has its own rhythm, and that sometimes the process of seeking is as valuable as the answers themselves. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to seek solutions and make decisions quickly, prioritizing prayer or introspection is a radical act of slowing down and listening. It teaches us to value the process of asking questions and sitting with uncertainty, even when it's uncomfortable. This process not only brings us closer to clarity, but also deepens our relationship with ourselves or our understanding of a higher power. Ultimately, seeking guidance through prayer or introspection is a way to honor our inner journey. It acknowledges that some answers can only be found within or through a connection with a greater source. By dedicating time to this practice, we invite a sense of peace, clarity, and wisdom into our lives, empowering us to navigate life's path with intention and authenticity. Through prayer and introspection, we find not only guidance, but also a deeper connection to the values, beliefs, and truths that shape who we are. Repeating patterns and signs often carry significant meaning in our lives. When similar experiences, events, or symbols seem to recur, it may indicate that there is a lesson we need to learn or an insight we have yet to fully understand. Life's patterns and signs are often subtle, but they can act as guides, calling our attention to aspects of our journey that need growth, reflection, or change. By becoming aware of these repetitions, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our actions, and the direction we're being encouraged to take. One common example of repeating patterns comes in the form of personal relationships. Many people find themselves experiencing similar conflicts, disappointments, or misunderstandings across different relationships. For instance, a person may notice that they repeatedly encounter partners who lack commitment or friends who drain their energy. While it's easy to attribute these patterns to bad luck or the behavior of others, it's worth exploring what these relationships reveal about ourselves. Perhaps there are underlying beliefs, fears, or unmet needs that draw us toward these dynamics. In this way, relationships become mirrors, reflecting areas where we might need to heal, set boundaries, or develop self-worth. Work and career are other areas where repeating patterns often appear. Many individuals find themselves in jobs where they feel undervalued or unfulfilled, even if they switch employers or positions. They might notice that they consistently struggle with a lack of recognition or have conflicts with authority figures. Rather than viewing each experience as isolated, noticing this pattern may reveal an internal struggle with self-worth or a need for self-advocacy. Perhaps these patterns are urging them to find work that aligns more closely with their passions or values, or they may need to address self-doubt that prevents them from fully expressing their potential. When we notice these professional patterns, we have the chance to address the root of the issue rather than perpetuate it. Repeating signs can also manifest as synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that feel too aligned to be random. For instance, repeatedly seeing the same number sequence like 111 or 444, encountering the same symbol like a butterfly or a particular animal, or hearing the same message through different sources can serve as signals. Synchronicities often arise when we're grappling with a decision or feeling uncertain about a direction in life. While these signs don't usually provide direct answers, they can serve as encouragement or validation, reminding us that we're on the right path or nudging us to pay closer attention to a particular aspect of our lives. Recognizing these signs requires an openness to the possibility that life is communicating with us in subtle, symbolic ways. Dreams can be another powerful source of recurring messages. Dreams have long been understood as windows into the unconscious mind, offering insights into our fears, desires, and unresolved conflicts. Repeating themes or symbols in dreams like falling, being chased, or finding ourselves unprepared can reflect unresolved issues or anxieties that our conscious minds may be avoiding. For example, a recurring dream about being lost could indicate a sense of feeling directionless or disconnected from one's purpose. By reflecting on these dream patterns and connecting them to our waking lives, we may find valuable clues about areas that require attention, healing, or change. Often, repeating patterns and signs challenge us to break out of our comfort zones. Human beings are creatures of habit, and we tend to gravitate toward familiar experiences, even when they no longer serve us. Noticing patterns is the first step toward change. It's a signal that something in our approach or mindset may need to shift. This is particularly true for individuals who find themselves facing the same challenges over and over, be it financial struggles, health issues, or emotional hardships. Life may be urging us to address underlying beliefs, behaviors, or unresolved emotions that perpetuate these situations. Perhaps we need to confront a limiting belief around money, adopt healthier habits, or work through emotional pain from past experiences. By taking responsibility for these patterns, we empower ourselves to make choices that align with growth and transformation. Noticing patterns also teaches us patience and mindfulness. Patterns don't usually resolve themselves overnight, nor do they always reveal their full meaning immediately. It's often only after repeated experiences that we begin to notice the thread connecting them. This requires a certain level of awareness, where we step back from our immediate reactions and consider the bigger picture. Instead of viewing each situation in isolation, we start to see them as interconnected, each event or relationship contributing to a larger lesson. This process of reflection and discernment cultivates patience, helping us accept that some questions and insights will unfold gradually. Being open to signs and patterns doesn't mean obsessively searching for meaning in every event. Instead, it's about adopting a gentle curiosity and remaining receptive to recurring themes without forcing interpretations. Sometimes we might not fully understand the meaning of a pattern until much later, after we've gained additional perspective. This is why journaling or noting recurring events can be helpful, as it allows us to track our experiences over time. Looking back, we might recognize patterns we hadn't seen before, or we may notice how our reactions to certain situations have evolved. Another benefit of recognizing life's patterns is that it helps us develop a sense of gratitude for our journey, even the difficult parts. When we view challenges as repetitive lessons rather than mere obstacles, we shift from a mindset of frustration to one of growth and acceptance. Each time we encounter a familiar challenge, we have an opportunity to respond differently, making choices that reflect our growth and understanding. This empowers us to break cycles that have kept us stuck, allowing us to move forward with a greater sense of freedom and agency. Moreover, signs and patterns remind us that life has an underlying rhythm and intelligence. Even in moments of doubt or hardship, patterns reassure us that there is a purpose to our experiences, even if it's not immediately apparent. They invite us to trust in life's timing, knowing that we are supported on our journey toward greater self-awareness and fulfillment. By acknowledging these signs, we open ourselves to a sense of connection with the universe, a feeling that we are not navigating life's twists and turns alone. Ultimately, noticing repeating patterns and signs encourages us to live with greater mindfulness, self-awareness, and openness to life's teachings. As we become more attuned to these messages, we start to see our lives as a journey of ongoing growth and self-discovery. We learn to trust that every experience, whether challenging or joyful, is guiding us toward greater clarity, wisdom, and alignment with our true selves. By remaining attentive to these recurring themes, we embrace life as a meaningful dialogue between ourselves and the world around us, a journey filled with signs that lead us toward a deeper understanding of our purpose and potential. Embracing change and taking action on the insights we gain is often the most challenging but also the most transformative step in any journey of personal growth. Whether we're prompted by subtle signs, inner reflection, or life's recurring patterns, eventually we reach a point where recognizing or understanding something is no longer enough. To move forward, we need to act on the knowledge we've gathered. Taking action is how we bridge the gap between the life we're living and the life we want to create. It is through change and the courage to make adjustments that we fully honor the guidance we've received, ensuring that it leads to growth, progress, and fulfillment. Change is inherently uncomfortable for most of us. Humans are creatures of habit, and we tend to find security in routines, familiar environments, and established beliefs. When we're confronted with the need for change, it's natural to feel fear, resistance, or self-doubt. Questions arise. What if this change doesn't work out? What if we're leaving behind something valuable? Or what if we fail in this new endeavor? These fears often stem from a fear of the unknown and the possibility of losing control. However, in many cases, the discomfort we feel in response to change is a sign that it's precisely what we need. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. It requires us to take risks, challenge ourselves, and step beyond what we know. Embracing change is a practice in courage, resilience, and trust. Taking action is the counterpart to embracing change. Without action, even the most profound insights and realizations can remain just ideas, failing to create tangible results in our lives. Action transforms potential into reality. Whether it's as simple as having a difficult conversation, making a career change, adopting a new habit, or letting go of an unhealthy relationship. Every time we act on a lesson, we're affirming our willingness to learn and grow. Action shows that we're not only aware of what we need to change, but that we're committed to making that change happen. Even small, incremental actions can lead to significant shifts over time, building momentum that encourages further growth. To embrace change effectively, it's essential to set clear intentions. Often we feel the urge for change without fully understanding what we hope to achieve. For example, we might feel dissatisfied in our job, sensing a need for a shift, but not knowing what exactly we're looking for. By setting clear intentions, such as wanting work that aligns with our values, a role that challenges us, or a healthier work-life balance, we can create a more focused path for change. Intentions give direction to our actions, helping us make choices that align with our deepest goals and values rather than reacting impulsively to dissatisfaction or discomfort. Change doesn't have to happen overnight. Sometimes a gradual approach is more sustainable. Small, steady steps are often more manageable and less overwhelming, especially when we're tackling major life changes. For instance, if someone feels called to make a career change, they might start by updating their resume, networking, or researching industries of interest. This step-by-step approach reduces the pressure of an immediate leap while still moving steadily toward the ultimate goal. Change is a journey, not a sprint, and it's okay to pace ourselves in a way that feels right. What's important is maintaining a commitment to progress, no matter how slow it may feel. While embracing change, it's also crucial to be gentle and forgiving with ourselves. Change can bring up old fears, insecurities, or limiting beliefs that we may not have fully addressed. We might stumble, experience setbacks, or question whether we're on the right path. During these times, self-compassion is key. Embracing change doesn't mean expecting perfection. It means being willing to try, adjust, and keep moving forward despite challenges. It's important to remember that the process of growth is messy and imperfect. We'll make mistakes, learn from them, and become stronger and wiser through each experience. By offering ourselves grace, we build resilience and stay committed to our journey even when it feels difficult. As we take action, feedback from life and our experiences often reveals whether we're on the right path. Taking action allows us to gather practical insights, refine our direction, and adjust as needed. For instance, someone pursuing a new career path might discover that certain roles or environments are a better fit than others. This hands-on experience provides valuable knowledge that we couldn't gain from reflection alone. By paying attention to the outcomes of our actions, we can learn, course correct, and make choices that keep us aligned with our purpose. Change often has a ripple effect, impacting other areas of our lives in unexpected ways. When we take action in one area, such as improving our health or relationships, the positive effects often extend to our mental well-being, productivity, and even social interactions. This interconnectedness can be motivating as we start to see the benefits of our efforts unfold across different aspects of life. Embracing change doesn't just transform the immediate area of focus, it can lead to a holistic shift in our entire way of being, bringing us closer to our ideal self. Embracing change also means being open to new opportunities and possibilities that arise along the way. As we take action, we may discover unexpected interests, talents, or connections. This openness allows us to grow in ways we hadn't anticipated, enriching our lives and broadening our horizons. Perhaps a new hobby turns into a passion, or a chance encounter leads to a meaningful friendship or partnership. Being open to these opportunities is part of the adventure of embracing change. We never know where each step might lead. Accountability is another powerful motivator when embracing change and taking action. Sharing our intentions with a trusted friend, mentor, or group can create a support system that encourages us to stay committed. Having someone who can offer encouragement, celebrate our progress, and provide feedback can make a significant difference, especially when we're facing challenges. Accountability helps us remain steadfast in our journey, reminding us that we're not alone and that others believe in our ability to succeed. Finally, embracing change and taking action deepens our sense of self-trust. Every time we step forward, we're reinforcing our belief in our ability to create the life we desire. This builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of empowerment that extends beyond the immediate change. The more we act on what we learn, the more we come to trust ourselves as capable, resourceful, and adaptable individuals. Self-trust is a cornerstone of personal growth. It's the belief that we have what it takes to navigate life's ups and downs, make wise decisions, and continue evolving toward our fullest potential. Ultimately, embracing change and taking action are acts of courage and self-respect. They demonstrate a commitment to living authentically, honoring our insights, and pursuing a path that resonates with who we truly are. Though the journey may be challenging, the rewards are profound: a greater sense of purpose, fulfillment, and alignment with our inner truth. By continually embracing change and acting on what we learn, we cultivate a life of intentionality, growth, and meaning. This journey of transformation becomes a testament to our capacity for resilience and adaptability, allowing us to create a life that reflects our highest aspirations and values.